You know, let's talk about porn. I've had a lot of conversations with people throughout my life, and I've gotten to a point where I'm finding the right friends who I can just have honest and open discussions about the porn we watch, our favorite stars, masturbation techniques, blah blah blah. And that's great. But we still live in a world where so many people are just hating on porn. There's a lot of slut shaming. There's a lot of people who, there seems to be this growing trend of, oh, that's so fake. But you know what? Porn is fake in the same way that wrestling is fake. It may all be scripted, but if in the first place, all these wrestlers could still probably kick your ass. Those muscles are real, even if all the action isn't necessarily. And honestly, the industry's been around for so damn long. I mean, it's successful for a reason. So, hey, if someone likes it, just let them like it. If you like it, watch it. You do you. I'm not going to hit on anyone who likes wrestling. I might think it's crap, but I'm not going to say anything against you if you think it's crap. Because let's be honest, it's entertainment. Everything entertainment is fake. Let's be honest, every Hollywood movie you've ever seen is fake. Every TV show you watch is fake, especially if you love reality shows. So let's stop focusing on how real everything is. If you want real, just step outside, okay? And stop bitching about everybody else and what they like to watch. I mean, porn, it's just like wrestling in that honestly, sex is kind of a sport. Like, a lot of people equate sex with love and stuff, but let's be honest, it's a sport. It's a physical activity. You can do it with yourself. You can do it like one-on-one, just with another person. You can make it a group thing. I mean, it can be played with as little as one person, as many as 22 people all out there together. It's just another sport. Much like these other sports, being bigger does help. But I mean, you can still be successful if you're smaller, but you do have to work a lot harder. Then again, it doesn't mean you can't be good. You can still be small and be amazing. It's just that people notice you more. You stand out easier. It's easier for people to pay attention to you when you're already naturally big. They just look at you expecting you to be great. So, it's easier to get noticed for it. I mean, and honestly, it's just, a part of it is just the whole society. Somehow sex has been tied in with morality. And like, for the longest time, it's a disgusting thing. Everybody hates it. We only do it to make babies. No, that's not how it works. We do it because it's fun and we like it. And I think everyone has a right to decide how they live their sexual life. Like me, I choose not to have sex with someone I'm not in a committed relationship, not because I believe sex is tied with love and monogamy and all that other stuff, but just because, hey, I like masturbating. Masturbating is fine. Like, I don't really care how it happens as long as I jizz. That's the most important part for me. That somehow, jizz comes out of my penis. That's it. As long as we reach the same end result, it's all the good. And so, sex just isn't a big enough deal for me, but there are plenty of diseases and other stuff that comes along. Even if you're careful, there's always still the possibility that of every time having sex that she gets pregnant, I've got AIDS, my whole life is fucked. So, I just prefer that she be worth taking those risks on. That's just me. If you want to fuck like 5 different people every day, hey, go for it. That's your thing. You do you. Just make sure you get tested regularly. That's all I'm saying. And me, part of the whole reason of rather being in a committed relationship is because, I personally, I prefer to see the test results before I ever have sex with anyone, especially a stranger. I just need to know that you have been tested in the calendar year and that you have clean results. I need to know what I'm exposed to. I'm not slut-shaming. I'm not calling you a dirty whore. I'm just saying for my own benefit. I need to take care of myself. I need to make sure that my own body is preserved, okay? I don't need to be exposing myself to unnecessary risk. And if there are risks, well, I need to know in advance that I'm exposing myself to them. You know how fucked up it is to have sex with someone and then say, oh, by the way, I'm HIV positive. No, you don't do that shit. If this is what you have, you need to make sure they know. And if you don't know whether or not you might have something, you damn sure need to get your ass to a doctor. like immediately. How long? Hey, guys, tell me in the comments about some of your masturbation. Me, for the most part, it's just simple. Right hand, sit there rubbing it. I watch a lot of different kind of porn. It just depends on my mood. I'm actually kind of not watching hentai as much anymore, just because as I've gotten older, I've noticed a lot of them are very, very rapey. And I'm just like, there seems to be something wrong with the nation of Japan as a whole, because it seems like a lot of the porn, especially a lot of the new hentai that keeps coming out, is just very rapey in nature. Not all of it, just a very high amount of it. And on, like, what are some of your records? The most I've ever masturbated in one day, the most times that I've done it is 20. Like 20 different occasions throughout the day. I've masturbated, jizzed, and then came back later and masturbated again. The most I've ever gone consecutively was 8 hours, and I remember the day very clearly. It was January 1st, 2014. I was in 8th grade. We hadn't come back from our winter break yet, and I just spent 8 hours straight just on the couch rubbing it. I don't know how many times I jizzed. I wasn't really paying attention. At some point I stopped counting. But I remember even after 8 hours, I still could keep going. I only stopped because there was a pain in my penis, and then I started freaking out when I looked down and saw blood in my hands. I had literally rubbed my dick raw. So, the moral of the story, lube. Lotions, lubes, spit, whatever. Just make sure there's plenty of moisture down there. And even since then, there have been 2 occasions where I made it all the way to 6 hours, and I was like, we're stopping right there. We're stopping right there. There is nothing quite like the sight of seeing blood come out of your own penis. It was just the scariest thing to ever happen in my life. The scariest thing. Ugh. So leave a comment down below telling me some of your favorite porn to masturbate to. Who are your favorite porn stars? What's the longest you've ever masturbated? Have you ever walked in on your parents masturbating? I have. I stopped masturbating for like 2 weeks after that. But eventually, the penis always wins. You can only fight it for so long. There are some people who actually consider masturbating like cheating. Like if you're in a committed relationship and you still masturbate, then that's basically like, oh, you're breaking your vows and stuff. No, that's bullshit. Like, hey, listen, there are going to be times when I want to have sex and you don't. Guess what? I'm just gonna get up and go to the other room where I run out real quick. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just what's going to happen. Hey, I don't mind being in a relationship with someone who never lets me have sex with her. I really don't. But you have to understand that if that's the case, masturbation is going to be happening on a daily basis. It's just a thing that happens when you have a penis. You have to touch it. Someone has to touch it. And if it's not going to be you, it's going to be me. Or if something, do you really, because I mean, it's so confusing how people think. I am honestly vexed by people's backwards way of thinking in the world.